Yo, what's good? Welcome back to Godfather's Legacy. So look, in this video right here, this woman calls in, talking about how marriage is important, family is important, and women need to take relationships seriously. Sounds good, right? But then Kevin starts asking her real questions. He finds out she's divorced, got 2 kids, she filed for divorce, and now she wants another man to step in and take over that situation. And when he starts breaking it down, the story don't really add up. He keeps saying she tried, she did her best, it was hard, he cheated, this and that. Hit like, subscribe, and support Kevin Samuel's original channel to help keep his legacy alive.
This is why I don't think the right message for women is just do you, worry about you, get your stuff, live your life. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm okay. How old are you?
I just turned 30.
Are you single or married?
Divorced.
Got any children?
2 girls, 9 and 13 years old.
Okay, so the question I'm asking tonight is, what is the right message for women today? And you got 2 young girls, so what's the right message?
What's the right message for women today?
Because people often tell me, what are you doing talking about this stuff? You're not a woman. You know what you're talking about? Okay, well, if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm asking the women. What's the right message for women, since apparently we don't know what we're talking about?
Well, what I would say is family is important, because I know a lot of women today don't really take relationships and family very seriously. So that should be top priority, back to what we know.
Okay.
That's something I know you focus on a lot. So marriage is important, family is important. And that's something I do, advocate a lot when it comes to, in terms of talking to young women, including my older daughter. I do that a lot.
How old is your oldest?
She's 13 years old.
And how long have you been divorced?
We've been separated for 5 years, divorced 3 years.
And who filed for divorce?
I did.
Huh?
I did.
How do those 2 positions line up?
Pardon me?
How do those 2 positions line up? If you're saying the right message for women today is marriage and family, you were married and had a family, but then you left it.
Yes, I did. So, I filed for divorce because I live in Canada, by the way, and after moving to Canada, because me and my husband had a visiting relationship for many years. When I moved here, things obviously changed, and I couldn't care for my children. I wasn't able to be a mother 100%, and I had to change. And I know the only way I can do better is if I file for divorce. I was stressed a lot. My husband wasn't faithful, and it kind of didn't. I wasn't in a good place knowing that. So eventually, I had to just accept that. Okay, I cannot function here. And
Where?
Pardon me?
Your husband's in Canada?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I just heard. I was too weak for marriage, so I decided to be a single mother, and that's nowhere near as tough.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I really fought for my marriage. I suggested counseling. My husband wouldn't go with me. I did the lone track counseling. Even after we were separated, I was going to therapy while I was still there, doing everything I'm supposed to be doing as a wife, all my life duties.
You got divorced on what grounds?
So I basically, when I filed for divorce, it was mutual. But he obviously, my husband, it wasn't. I didn't want to.
There's grounds. What was the grounds?
Yeah. I just said it was mutual.
It's not a mutual, ma'am. I'm doing my best, but don't do this to me.
Okay.
Grounds. You have to file a ground. Was it irreconcilable differences?
Maybe that's what it was. I honestly don't remember.
How long you been divorced?
3 years. Since 2019, the
Now, I want
beginning of
you to understand why
2019.
I'm starting to look at you a certain kind of way. You're the woman
Yes.
that came in and said marriage and family is so important.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I'm still hearing you filed for divorce
Yes, I
on the
did.
terms of irreconcilable differences. And what I'm hearing, what a lot of guys are hearing, here comes another woman painting herself in the victim position. It was hard. It was this. I tried. And I was a saint. I mean, the way, and maybe this isn't you, but the way so many of you women talk is like you're damn angels.
Oh,
And the men are walking around as demons, and I tried so much. He didn't want to go to counseling or therapy. But you know what the funny thing is? At the end of that story, it's 80% of the time, it is a woman's name as the plaintiff.
that's true.
So excuse me. There was a movie called was it Constantine? John Constantine. And where the archangel Gabriel turned out to be the villain. That's what I hear when I hear a lot of you women talk all these right things. But at the end of the day, on that divorce action, your name is the plaintiff, Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hadn't filed for divorce, would your family still be together?
Yes.
Okay. So do you understand how everybody else could be just as confused as what you say? And
I
your daughter like,
understand.
well, then if marriage and family is so important, why'd you leave our daddy?
I know. I do
Do you?
understand.
Do you? Do you?
I
Because
do.
if you did, I think you would have told the story a different way. You'd have told
Okay.
the story a way to where you really understood. You told the story where you're a victim. I tried my best. I did my best, but I guess my best was, see, it was mutual. I've been doing this too long. And the funny thing is, it doesn't matter if you're in Canada, New York City, Miami, in the West, you ladies all tell the same story.
Mm-hmm.
So now, since family is so important, the next step is to go get a stepfather.
Well, I would love to get married.
Why would a
And
man, why would a man marry you when you already left your husband and the father of the kids? Why would a guy come in and take over two daughters of a woman who left her husband?
I understand.
No. I asked why.
Why? Um, well, I would obviously explain the reason, even though I just said I didn't get into a lot of details. So having that conversation would be important
The,
in making that
the
person
details,
understand.
I don't need to get into all the details.
Hmm.
But what if you got married and this man cheated, so you say? You gonna leave again?
Um, so, to be honest with you, I always hear you talk, and that's something new.
Would you leave again?
Well, it's something that I'm looking at very differently.
How did you find out that your husband was, I'm going to assume he was cheating. How did you find out he was cheating?
So I had people,
Somebody told
sorry. Okay, well, yeah, people reached out to me,
people like
many
who?
times.
People like who?
So random women would reach out and I would ask and,
Random women that he was dealing with?
yeah, so that was kind of made me feel real awful. Like they had
Hold on,
access
hold
to
on,
me.
hold on. Let me ask some questions.
Yeah.
So you saying your husband was cheating? How many times did he cheat? How many women reached out to you?
I lost count. because while I was in Guyana, like he was like, yeah. So when I got here, like
I'm just trying to understand, man, because
it just came out of left field.
what you're saying is, I was married, I got 2 kids, and my husband was cheating, and he was cheating so much that every day I came home and I had women all over the place. That's not how people move. That's the way you're telling the story, but I want to know how many women, approximately. You say I lost count. Where did you stop counting?
Maybe at like 5.
5.
Yeah.
So he cheated with. There were 5 women he cheated with, and these 5 women called you.
Messages, inbox calls, send photos, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they said, "Hey, I just want you to know I'm having an affair with your husband."
Things like that, yeah. Or doesn't want you.
Mm-hmm.
That's there, and
then,
like this weird stuff.
And then when you asked him about the first woman, what did he say?
It's not that serious. I don't want her.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm married to you.
Okay. And you were in Guyana, and he was in where?
So the first time I found out, we both was in the States.
You were both where?
Yeah. We were in the States, like celebrating our anniversary. Yeah.
So you were with your husband. He cheated with some woman, and this woman reached out to you and said, I'm sleeping with your husband. And you confronted him. He said, I don't want her. I'm with you. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to the second and third one. The second one reached out and said what? So
by that time I was here.
And he was where?
And both of us was here.
You both were there. And reached out to you again?
The second time I just saw like messages, like I woke up and I left the room and I came back and his phone was on and I just saw like these random photos was coming through.
His phone was on?
It was like, so he was texting the person, and as I walk into the room, he put on the phone. So the phone kept, but because the message kept coming through, it stayed lit. Yeah. And I was like, what is that? And it was just like, I can't wait to see you. I miss you. Been thinking about you, kind of like that. Don't think about it now.
No, well, okay. So he was messaging somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we asked him about it. What did he say?
He doesn't know the girl. He just met her, which was not true.
Okay. And this happened 3 more times, you say?
Yeah, it happened quite often. Okay. It was like to a point where sometimes he would not come home. Like, I'm going to stay with my boys. I fell asleep at my boys. Well, it was like, no.
Well, if he was doing, that kind of stuff, that's reckless.
Yeah.
I don't make excuses for infidelity. I think if you're going to step out, you need to say something. You need to get that understood up front. Yeah. Just take the story as you say it, but I'm going to tell you, it is so unusual for women to just, I've lived on this planet for a long time, have women back to back contacting a wife. Okay. But let's just say it happened that way. Okay. And you wanted to go to therapy because you wanted to save your marriage, and he was okay with getting divorced.
He wasn't okay with getting divorced. He just said, I don't need therapy. I don't need to go to marriage.
But he was still but he still wanted to have relations with other women.
Yeah. Obviously he would say like, I wouldn't, but it would still happen.
All right, before you click off, let me say this real quick, because I know a lot of people watch these clips just to be entertained, just to laugh, just to say, yeah, he went crazy, yeah, he cooked her, yeah, that was brutal. And then as soon as the video ends, they go right back to doing the same things in their own life, and nothing changes at all. And that's the part nobody really wants to deal with, because it's easy to judge somebody on a screen, but it's hard to sit with yourself and admit that maybe some of the same habits, some of the same thinking, some of the same excuses are the reason why you're still stuck in the same place year after year. A lot of people love these videos, but they don't actually listen to them. They just hear what they want to hear. They pick the parts that make them feel good and ignore the parts that apply to them. And that's why nothing improves, because growth doesn't come from feeling comfortable. It comes from realizing, yeah, I messed up here. Yeah, I handled that wrong. Yeah, I need to change this about myself, and most people don't want to do that work. Everybody wants better relationships, better partners, better results, better better stability, but nobody wants to change the habits that keep ruining their relationships. Nobody wants to fix their communication. Nobody wants to fix their standards. Nobody wants to fix their discipline. Nobody wants to fix their decision-making. They just want to keep blaming their ex, blaming men, blaming women, blaming society, blaming social media, blaming everything except themselves. And listen, this isn't about hating women. This isn't about defending men. This isn't about picking sides. This is about reality. If you keep choosing the same tip of plue with the same red flags and the same mindset and the same issues, you're going to keep getting the same endings. No matter how much you pray, no matter how much you manifest, no matter how many quotes you post on Instagram. Real life does not care about that. It only responds to what you actually do. A lot of people say they want marriage, but they don't act like someone who's ready for marriage. A lot of people say they want peace, but they love drama. A lot of people say they want loyalty, but they entertain everybody. A lot of people say they want stability, but they don't have discipline in any part of their life, and then they're confused why nothing works out. And that's why these conversations matter, even when they're uncomfortable, even when people get mad, when people get triggered, because somebody has to say the stuff that nobody else wants to say. Somebody has to tell you, yeah, maybe the problem isn't everybody, it's you. Maybe you need to level up emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. Maybe you need to grow up before you start demanding more from other people. You don't have to agree with everything. Kevin says, yes, nobody does, but if you're honest with yourself, some of this stuff hits close to home. And instead of getting defensive, instead of arguing in the comments, instead of attacking strangers, maybe take that energy and put it into fixing your life, fixing your mindset, fixing your habits, fixing your choices, because that's what actually changes things. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to magically fix your relationships. Nobody is coming to hand you a perfect partner. You have to become the kind of person that attracts healthy, stable, serious people. And that takes work, it takes sacrifice, it takes maturity, it takes accountability, not vibes, not slogans, not fantasy thinking. So if this video made you think even a little bit, hit the like button. Subscribe if you support what we're doing, and make sure you support Kevin Samuels' original content, because without him, these conversations wouldn't even be happening. And if you're still watching right now, I appreciate you for real, because that means you're not just here for drama, you're here to learn something and grow. And we're going to keep bringing you more real, unfiltered content like this. No fake motivation, no sugarcoating, just straight talk. Stay locked in, and I'll see you in the next one.